Hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese speakers live, work, and study in Taiwan. Like any community, they need news and information they can trust, and increasingly, they can find it in their own language. One of the journalists serving that community is Jeremy Pham.
Chào mừng quý vị và các bạn đến với bản tin tiếng Việt ngày 13 tháng 5
He
của
came as a
PTS
student
Đài Loan.
and earned a master's degree in business administration. Now, once a week, he writes and delivers the news in Vietnamese for a weekly newscast on PTS, Taiwan's public broadcaster and the parent company of TaiwanPlus. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining me. So let's start off by talking about your journey from student to news anchor. You came originally to study in Taiwan.
I never thought that I would be a TV news anchor in the future. When I was the university student in Vietnam, I studied business, and my biggest goal was simply to build successful in career and earn a good income. When I came to Taiwan, I have a change to take part in the activity of the Vietnamese communication, and I met a sister. She's working for the Vietnamese news in Taiwan. She noticed my voice and we connect each other, and she's invited me to work together. And right now I'm working for the Vietnamese news in public television right now.
And so part of your job is taking scripts in Mandarin Chinese, translating them into Vietnamese. And then of course you also have to go on camera. So what's the hardest part of your job as an anchor?
The first one, you need to have the language, because when you don't have any Chinese or English, you don't know how to keep the information to convey to the audience. And the second one is you need to have multidimensional viewing. When I first came to Taiwan, my Chinese is not too good. So for day by day, I need to approach for the Taiwanese news in Chinese. So I need to translate from Chinese into Vietnamese. And day by day, my Chinese is improving. I just enjoy my job right now.
And what kinds of stories do you do? I noticed that there's a big variety of different types of news that go into your newscast.
When it comes to the news, there's a diverse, including global events or the economic politics between Vietnamese and Taiwanese. Besides that, I also have the podcast program for exploring deeply in Vietnamese community in Taiwan.
What do these second generation Vietnamese Taiwanese need?
I first approached this theory about second generation when I came to Taiwan, and I have the podcast to interview a young girl. She has mother is Vietnamese and father is Taiwanese. So her parents sent her go to Vietnam to live, and she lived there for 8 years. And after that, she get back, returned to Taiwan. She cannot communicate with her father because the language barrier. She shares a lot about her passion in singing. She want to share her story via her voice, her songs. Her parent doesn't want her to keep studying in music. He wants her to study in engineering. She agreed, but agreed in a situation that she don't want. So her father doesn't allow her to keep singing on the stage. So she got the mental help with that stress.
Mẹ yêu ơi, con yêu mẹ nhiều. Mẹ luôn là vật sống của đời con. Mẹ cho con tình yêu cao quý. Mẹ là lý trí của đời con. Mẹ yêu ơi.
Nhưng mà hồi nãy giới thiệu là em có nói là em học ngành cơ điện tử. Vậy tại sao em không theo đuổi cái ngành ca nhạc, âm nhạc mà em lại theo đuổi cái ngành đó?
Dạ, cái ngành đó là kế hoạch của ba em。其实是很矛盾，有些是很感谢我爸，但是有一些是有点讨厌我爸的点，因为他的个性就是就是比较情绪化、有浮躁的一种父亲。然后，但是他有一些的教法是可以让我值得感谢，甚至我可以超越他的方法。然后就考了90多分，然后就第一名，就越来越有成就感。当我有成就感，我就会有声音可以说话， 就可以说服我爸说，你看我在外面搞唱歌的事业，也不会影响到电机的课业。你看，成绩单在这里。
What you're doing is really important for this community here in Taiwan. And through your podcasts, that's where you do a lot of these interviews with people. Where do you find all the interviewees? How do you meet them and learn about their stories?
I have a TikTok channel and I have the small community in Taiwan. So when I'm sharing my story and sharing my information to live in Taiwan, there's some people, some followers to find me, and they show that they want to share the story via my podcast. So I invite them to my podcast. And the second way is that I joined a lot of Vietnamese community in Taiwan. So I met for many kind of people in Taiwan, like getting married, working, or studying here. And they share to me about their story. So I realized that their story is one of new color to make my podcast to be outstanding.
What's the best way to reach young Vietnamese people who are just arriving in Taiwan?
I think nowadays is the era of the social media. So we can use that platform to approach for the young generations. I want to use this TikTok to share the message and convey the message for the young generations. The TikTok market in Taiwan is very small. So how to approach the Vietnamese community and approach larger is very difficult for me, and I cannot earn money via the TikTok. But I think that money is not the problem. I just want to use the TikTok platform to raise my voice and contribute for the Vietnamese community.
I'm curious to know also, as a member of this very small community of Southeast Asian journalists and reporters here in Taiwan, how do storytellers like you help to boost ties between Taiwan and Southeast Asia?
I want to focus for the second young generation in Taiwan. I want to share this story and approach for Taiwanese and Vietnamese community, and I can understand more about their life, their challenges. So via that, they can, maybe they can touch the heart of the government, and via the action, they can take the action to help the young generation to widen their voice and widen their opportunity in Taiwan. And then when they grow up, they can understand who are they, what are they in Taiwan for. And then they can contribute not only for Taiwan, but also for Vietnam.
So when your team is preparing the stories for the newscast, which stories do you prioritize? Is it the stories about what's happening here in Taiwan? Is it the international news? Is it events related to the Vietnamese community? What takes precedence?
There are two main newscasts. The one is the global events. The second one is Vietnamese immigrant here, like for the working, because Vietnamese working here, they have a lot of problem and they cause a lot of accidents. And there is a very important information is that the Vietnamese are very scared, because they say that if Taiwan and China has a problem, so they wonder will be keep in Taiwan or back to Vietnam. So when they back to Vietnam, what anything else and what's next?
The PTS Southeast Asian newscasts has actually won a big award in Taiwan in 2025, the Excellence in Journalism Award for Social Public Service.
This 是公视在台湾很重要的一个里程碑。其实一个移工来到台湾，那他在看不懂中文的情况底下刚来啊，他怎么知道台湾发生什么事？对，那在这个时候，东南亚新闻可以提供他立即的新闻。网络上的资讯很多，但是很多是假新闻。可是他知道说东南亚语新闻会是正确的。
那我们的使命是搭起这个桥梁，让新住民移工可以看到台湾的新闻，也同时分享新住民跟移工在这片土地的 的故事，透过这个平台，让不同文化可以更靠近，多一点理解，也多一点尊重。
我一直觉得我们在做一场媒体的禁用权的实验跟实践，而我们这7年来的努力啊，就是一直在让这些移居者可以从新闻的客体变成主体，那也让新闻的公共性获得了另外一种形式的体现。
Essentially providing an essential service to these unique communities in Taiwan, so Vietnamese, Indonesian, and Thai specifically, these 3 communities. So you're actually providing a service for people, who might not be able to get the same stories in another language.
We want to convey the message is that the Vietnamese living in Taiwan is not like the older generations. We now also develop for the young generation, and we bring a lot of second generations Vietnamese and Taiwanese, and we can share the value of Vietnamese culture for the Taiwanese. I also read the comments in the video, and they share a lot about gratitude for our televisions for bringing the Vietnamese story into the Taiwanese community.
Well, thank you so much, Jeremy. It's been a pleasure talking with you and learning about the work that you do here in Taiwan.
Thank you so much, Andre.
Look for more episodes of Correspondents at TaiwanPlus.com or on the Taiwan Plus News YouTube channel. I'm Andrew Ryan. We'll see you next time.